Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw Saitama from One Punch Man. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the head. An easy way to draw a circle is to first sketch a couple of guidelines. Draw a vertical line to determine the circle's height. Make a small mark halfway on the line. Make the mark longer to create a horizontal line. You're basically creating a big plus sign. On the tips of the vertical line, make a couple of small marks to indicate the tops and bottom edges of the circle. Draw a couple more small marks on the tips of the horizontal line to indicate the sides of the circle. Make all the small marks equal in distance to the middle of the plus sign. Now connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. Extend the vertical line farther down so that it's below the head. On the bottom tip of the vertical line, make a small mark to indicate the bottom edge of the head. The distance between the small mark and the bottom edge of the circle should be about half the circle's length. Connect the small mark to the sides of the circle using angled lines to create the bottom half of the head. Bend the lines near the middle to create the jaw. Make the bottom of the shape narrow for the chin. On the sides of the head, draw curved lines as guides for the ears. Draw the ears below the horizontal line on the plus sign. Below the head, draw two short vertical lines as guides for the neck. On the sides of the neck, draw sloping lines for the visible part of the body. Make these lines long. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, draw a couple of short curved lines for the tops of the eyes. Place these lines against the bottom edge of the circle. Draw the lines on either side of the vertical line. Pay attention to the distance between the eyes. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shapes right. Draw a couple of shorter lines on the outer tips for the lower edges of the eyes. Don't close off the shapes of the eyes, leave a gap at the bottom. Above the eye on the left, draw a long, thin, sloping shape for the first eyebrow. Follow the edge of the initial circle as you draw the eyebrow. Make the left tip of the eyebrow thin and pointy. Draw a long, thin, sloping shape above the eye on the right for the other eyebrow. Draw the shape along the path of the circle. Draw a couple of short lines between the eyebrows to create a furrowed brow. Try to make both sides of the face the same, but it's okay if it's not perfectly symmetrical. Shade in the eyebrows. Inside the eyes, draw small half circles for the irises. Draw the irises close to the top edges of the eyes. Below the eyes, draw a small angled line for the nose. Place the nose on the vertical line halfway between the eyes and the chin. The shape of the nose should be similar to the letter V. Higher up, draw a short vertical line for the bridge of the nose. Below the nose, draw a short horizontal line for the mouth. Don't make the line for the mouth too long. Draw a shorter line below the mouth for the lower lip. Draw a short vertical line on the top left side for the forehead. Darken the curved line on the left side of the head to create the first ear. Draw a couple of short curved lines within the shape to give the ear structure. These lines don't have to be perfect, just draw a couple of curved lines within the shape. Use the curved line on the right side of the head as a guide to draw the other ear the same way. Darken the shape and add a few curved lines inside for structure. Now darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the head. Make the sides of the head a bit flatter than the guides. Make the lines thick and dark. Darken the guides at the bottom to create the jaw and chin. Make the shape of the chin thin. Darken the lines under the head for the neck. Draw a couple of lines within the shape of the neck for the muscles. On the left side of the body, lightly sketch a long curved line for the first part of the cape. Make this shape wide and curved and similar to the letter U. Draw a similar shape on the right side for the other side of the cape. Try to make both sides the same. When you get the shapes right, darken the lines. Use angular lines as you darken the shapes. Draw a couple of curved lines along the top for the folds on the fabric. Keep the folds of fabric close to the guideline. Make the folds different sizes. Draw the folds on the right side the same way. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shapes right. Follow the path of the guideline as you draw the folds. Inside the shape on the left, near the bottom, draw a long curved line for the main fold on the cape. At the top, draw a curved line for the big fastener that holds the cape in place. Draw a similar shape on the right side for the other fastener. Below the neck, draw a long curved line for the collar. Don't draw this line too far down below the neck. At the center, draw a couple of small shapes for the zipper pull. Draw a small triangular shape at the top for the base of the zipper pull. At the bottom, draw a small circular shape for the main part of the zipper pull. Draw a couple of short curved lines at the top for the collarbones. Draw a couple more angled lines to make the shape of the collar wider. In the middle, draw a series of small rectangular shapes for the zipper. Make the final lines darker than the guides. And that's it for Saitama. Now go over the final lines with permanent ink, erase the guides, and color your drawing. The next few steps are sped up, but make sure that you go over your final lines slowly and carefully to avoid any accidents. For more tutorials like this, please visit EasyDrawingTutorials.com. Let me know in the comments what else you want to see me draw. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.